All right, here is everybody, and then we can have enough people so we have some people on FaceTime, as you can see here. Hand it over to my camera woman. Okay. 678,000. It's the number of deaths that occur each year in the United States due to nutrition, obesity-related diseases, heart diseases, cancer, and type 2 diabetes. The Center of Disease Control and Prevention says that in the last 30 years, obesity rates have doubled in adults, tripled in children, and quadrupled in adolescents. So what do these things have in common? They could all be prevented. How? Living a healthy lifestyle. Now it sounds simple and it sounds like obvious, the obvious answer. Why would anybody think that we should just all get fat or become obese and eat what we want? What are the consequences? Well, people get diseases, people die, people become obese and have permanent effects from it. So the reason why I found out that a lot of people decide not to change their lifestyle, live a healthier lifestyle, is because they really don't know how, or they don't know where to start. So in my experience, I've started living and changing my lifestyle for the past 10 years, getting into weight training, lifting, going to the gym, developing different diets or meal plans that I can follow. Basically, not just doing something temporary, but changing my lifestyle for the better. And I've narrowed it down to 4 specific things that I believe if anybody follows, they can develop that healthy lifestyle as well. And number 1 is healthy eating, which is pretty obvious. Number 2, exercise. Number 3 is mental health and well-being. And number 4 is that you cannot give up. So where do you start? Where does everything begin? So first and foremost, I believe that anything difficult that you're going to do in your life, you have to have the proper motivation to push you in the difficult times. Because if it's something that you haven't already done, there's a reason why, and you need to have something that's going to push you to achieve that goal. So whether you're doing this for yourself or for a loved one, you want to make sure that you have that motivation that's going to be there when it does get difficult and you want to give up. So once you have that, once you have the motivation, the proper thing that's going to push you, then you're ready to learn. You're ready to develop the techniques that are necessary in order to live a healthy lifestyle. So going into healthy eating, the United States Department of Agriculture states that eating a diet rich in vegetables and fruit as part of an overall healthy diet may reduce risk of heart attack and stroke. And also, diets rich in foods containing fiber, such as some vegetables and fruits, may reduce the risk of heart disease, obesity, and type 2 diabetes. So these are just simple examples of what we can do, little changes to avoid these fatal diseases. And over the past 10 years, I've seen different things that have worked better for me and things that haven't worked at all. And some of the things that I think are a little more effective when it comes to eating healthy are about 3 different things that I've narrowed it to. Number 1 is meal planning. When you meal plan, not only are you saving money by knowing exactly what you need to buy for that week or month, however you decide you want to do it, but it's also a way to see if you have properly planned what vegetable you're going to have for dinner, fruit you're going to have for breakfast, the proper proteins and carbs that you need in that meal. So you're able to see exactly if you're getting the proper nutrients to change that lifestyle, or if you're just guessing the entire time, which will also prevent you from going out to eat, going to fast food and picking up a quick burger from McDonald's or something. So after you've gotten that out of the way, another simple one that is overlooked very often is if you don't need it, or if you already know that it's something that's bad for you, don't go and buy it and put it into your house. This means if you are trying to lose weight and you know that you need to reduce your sugar intake, then you do not want to go out and buy some Oreos or ice cream or the infamous deadly Girl Scout cookies that I can seriously pound. Just these simple steps are ways that you can obviously change what your choices are when you're home. you're not going to have the option of eating junk food because it's not going to be there. The third thing that I've learned is that I'm completely against short-term dieting. I believe that if you're going to get into a healthier lifestyle, you need to actually change your lifestyle of how you eat completely, making the better choices every single time, not just a short-term period of dieting. And the reason why I focus on this being more important is because when you get into short-term dieting and you get into this habit of dieting and then giving up and then dieting again, you go into weight cycling, or more commonly known as yo-yo dieting. And the National Center of Biotechnology Institution classifies weight cycling as repeated periods of weight loss and regain, forming a pattern. This cycle may increase the risk of developing cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes. So on this little whiteboard here, just kind of give you guys an idea. You have your weight that you start at right here, and then the time and diets that go over time. The weight that you have at first, when you start dieting, you're going to lose that weight. It's going to feel great. You're going to get into a stage where you're either sick of the diet or you're sick of not having carbs or whatever it is that that diet focuses on, and you're going to want to give up and you're going to want to binge and completely eat everything you want because you're no longer on a diet. So now you've gained back the weight and then a little bit more because you're eating worse than you did before to basically make up for eating healthy that whole time. But then you're sick of where you're at again, so you go on another diet, but now you have to work harder because you have more weight to lose. So you didn't quite get to the point of where you're at before, which, yeah, it's horrible, but it happens. Again, you get sick of it. You get sick of the diet. You get sick of being forced to eat only certain things. So you give up and you go back. Then you gain more weight because you haven't lost as much weight. And that pattern continues and continues until you're at your maximum weight, which is usually what puts you 6 feet under. So seeing that pattern, instead of going on short-term diets and going on plans that are not going to be completely effective, it's better to just change your lifestyle completely so you don't get stuck in this complete cycle of weight cycling. After you've understood what you need to do and develop the pattern for eating healthy and meal planning, which I think is the most difficult part, what you need to do is get into being a little more physically active. So the exercise portion, which I think is the most fun. Not only that, it's probably the easier part because you just got to get up and move. The physical activity guidelines for American states that healthy adults should get a minimum of 2.5 hours per week of moderate intensity aerobic activity, or minimum of an hour and 25 minutes per week of vigorous intensity aerobic activity. So that's super easy. That means you can get up 5 days a week, go for a walk for about 30 minutes, and you've done what the guideline states as being more active. And that's going to make that little bit of a difference to lose the weight that you need to, or to increase your chance of having that healthier lifestyle. So you don't need to go to the gym, you don't need to be a gym rat. It can be as simple as a walk in the park. Just make it 5 days out of that week and you've done the guideline. So one thing that I've noticed that is overlooked over healthy eating and exercise is mental health and well-being. When we think of a healthier lifestyle, we don't normally think about our mental health and what we need to do for that, but it's one of the more important things because they've been able to connect your mental health and well-being to these diseases as well. The American Psychological Association says that stress that's left unchecked can contribute to many health problems such as high blood pressure, heart disease, obesity, and diabetes. So little things as taking proper breaks, getting the amount of sleep that you need, taking vacation, just some me time will make that difference and break that connection between those two. So really, after you've developed these steps to have a healthier lifestyle, like I said, one of the most important things is that you can't give up. If you've had a week where you didn't eat as healthy as you wanted, or you didn't get the amount of exercise that you were supposed to, start over, do it again until you get it perfect, And at that point, you'll be able to do it over and over again until you don't even think about it, until you're to the point that you're already living that healthy lifestyle and you're at where you want to be. So follow these 4 steps, go out there, change your life. Don't just go on these temporary diets. Don't get stuck in the cycle. Be a healthier person and make a difference. Thank you.